Welcome back. This is the DFS Time Show with Clinton and Will. I'm one of your hosts, Clinton. This is my friend and host, Will. How you doing tonight, Will?
I'm good, Clint. I'm good, man. Getting ready to get back to it, man. Getting ready back into it. So, been messing around with some lineups pretty much the last couple of days, man. I think I got a good one for DK. I got a good one for DK. So, looking forward to get into that, man.
Yeah,
How you been?
Doing good. It's been a good week, busy week. Did okay last week. Our I don't know if you looked, but our OwnersBox lineup, it finished in the money. I tweaked it. I took out Judy and I put in Cooks, and we finished in the money on that one. I don't know if you adjusted.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, anything ending in the money is good as long as you cash, you're good. So even if it's min cash, at least it's something. So you get your money back and then some. So again, just trying to build that bankroll throughout the season and try to get better every single week, man. So I'm ready to do it again, man. I'm ready to do it again.
How you feeling after that Giants loss?
Listen, Clinton.
I'm a Vikings fan.
They had that phantom. I know you watched the game as well. So they had that phantom face mask call on Kelsey. He didn't even get close to the shoulder pads in the collar area. So again, the refs are not with us, man. They're not with us. So it looks like it's going to be another lost season. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but it's getting late in the season. So looking to see what we could go ahead and do for next year. And then we got some injured players and some players out this upcoming week. So it's just not looking good, man. But I thought we had a chance. Definitely covered the spread, which is always good. I did pick the Giants to cover the spread. They did that, but I would have much rather them to win the game outright. But, we got another week coming, man. So it's whatever we could go ahead and do. I'm all for it.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's jump right into it here. I'll pop up an OwnersBox lineup that I have set. Or sorry, FanDuel lineup. Jeez, getting ahead of myself here. There it is right there. So we have went with Lamar Jackson at quarterback this week. I went a little more expensive at quarterback. I usually don't do that, but I just think he's going to trash the Vikings. When they gave up 300 passing yards to Cooper Rush, and he wasn't even mobile. I think Lamar Jackson is just going to kind of tear him apart. I have Eli Mitchell in there right now, running back. He's had a really good couple of weeks, back-to-back 100-yard games. Faces Arizona's not a great run defense. I think they're ranked like 20th, give up 120 yards a game. We'll have to watch the injury reports throughout the week. Looks like he hit the injury report today with some ribs. Shanahan didn't make it sound like it was too big of an issue, more of like a maintenance kind of thing. But we'll see what happens with them. I'm going to roll with Chubb. Running back's kind of hard this week, and he has a pretty good matchup. He looked decent last week after coming back from injury. I think he's fine in there this week. Wide receiver, my first spot here. I'm expecting a big breakout. Maybe not huge, I guess. I shouldn't say that, but Bateman. You stack him with Lamar Jackson. Super cheap, 5,400 on FanDuel. I think he's even only like 4,000 on DraftKings or something like that. But, Lamar looked his way a couple times. He had a decent week his first two games back. He had 80 yards his last game before the bye. I really like that. I think he's going to gravitate towards being their wide receiver one here soon. Then I put in Brandon Cooks. Decent matchup with Miami this week. He had, 80 yards and a touchdown last week.
Yep.
83 yards and a touchdown. Got that touchdown. I switched him in that OwnersBox lineup, and that worked out well. Hopefully Davis Mills continues to look his way. They've got they're getting a little healthy. They throw into Brevin Jordan and Nico Collins a little bit. So that passing game seems to be opening up just a little bit. He's cheap option, 6,800. Then I went with Keenan Allen. I feel like Herbert's trying to gravitate towards Allen again now, rather than Mike Williams. It just kind of feels like he's going with that. Keenan Allen's a Mr. Consistent. He's going to get you, 6 to 10 targets a game, that many catches as well. How do you feel about those first five or first six?
So I definitely, it's interesting because I did look at Lamar. I do have Bateman in there in my wide receiver spot. Like you said, he's definitely very inexpensive, and I think that's going to be a good stack. He's getting better and better every single week. So I like him in the slot there. 5,000 on here, 4,000 on DK. So I like that. Chubb, Chubb is gonna probably have a good game. I think he definitely will. You saw what Michael Carter was able to do against those guys last
Yep.
week in the Jets. I mean, he looked like he was pretty much the best rookie running back during that game. So I like him there. Elijah Mitchell, I pretty much always stay away from Shanahan running backs out there wherever he coaches because he's not set on one. But it seems like the last couple of weeks have over 100 yards rushing. So I think that he's the guy in San Fran. So I like that. I like that play.
Cool. Yeah. And I think Wilson might be back this week at running back, or at least they can play him if they activate him. Hopefully,
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think it will matter though. I think that he's pretty much solidified that starting running back spot out there in San Fran. So I definitely like what he's going to be able to do this upcoming week against Arizona.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Then finishing off with, I'm going to go with Tyler Conklin at tight end. Again, I don't spend a ton of money on my tight ends. He's been pretty consistent lately for the Vikings. What were his numbers last week? I think let's see, what did I have him at? Yeah, I think he finished with 5 or 6 catches still last week, 50, 60 yards. Just think Cousins going to rely on him this week. Baltimore hasn't been the greatest against tight ends. Flex spot, we have room for Jamar Chase. I expected him to have a lot better week last week than he did. But I think this is another really, really good week for him. I think Burrow finds him. I think they're going to bounce back after that embarrassing game last week that they had. I'm going to finish. It pains me to do this because I cannot stand them, but the Cowboys defense against Denver, I think, it's a really good salary, 3,900. They're at home. They get around, they do a great job, and I think they're going to fluster Denver a little bit.
I like that, man. I definitely like that. I think the Cowboys defense, I mean, they have been playing pretty well. Jamar Chase, again, he's a fantastic rookie. Last week in the end zone, though, that was his first drop pass.
They did the drop one.
Which, it was. I saw the replay. I saw it a couple of times, so it definitely hit him. At first I was like, oh, maybe the defensive player knocked it out of his hands, but that wasn't the case whatsoever. That was definitely a drop pass by Jamar Chase.
Yeah, some preseason flashbacks. Hopefully he doesn't fall off their schneid there a little bit. Right. That could have changed. That would have changed my whole week if Burrow would have threw one more touchdown. Especially to Chase there. I think I had him in a couple other spots. Let's jump over to DraftKings here. We have your lineup installed in there. If you want to go ahead and give that a rundown.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I was thinking about going with Lamar Jackson. He was pretty expensive here, but I got to go back to the well. I'm going to go ahead with Tua. For the simple fact that I think it's going to be a bounce back game. And what better way to do it when going up against the Houston Texans? So he should have a pretty good outing. I know that there was some news today that his finger got injured, but hopefully it's nothing serious and he's able to play on Sunday against the Texans there and bounce back. But I like him at $5,800. Not expensive whatsoever, but then also not the least expensive. So it's good at the quarterback position. At running back, I like Aaron Jones. We know that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be playing the game. So at the very, very least, he's going to be able to get a lot of carries and then also some catches out the backfield. So I think that Jordan Love could at least, connect with him coming out the back for 5-10 yard reception and then just give him the ball, see what he could go ahead and do like that. Pretty expensive at $7,200, but Aaron Jones, as you know, he could not only score running the ball but also receiving. So I like him to go ahead and pretty much be productive out the backfield down there. Boston Scott, man. I mean, this guy right here, right? If you wait until Miles Sanders gets injured to pretty much implement the running game in Philadelphia, and he had a pretty good game. Had 2 touchdowns, very productive. Also, he looks like he's going to get pretty much all the red zone touches and looks down there in Philadelphia. So I like him against the Chargers, and the Chargers give up a lot of rushing yards to running back. So I like him to have a good game there. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you on the Bateman pick. I think that he's gonna do pretty well. If he could add a touchdown in this game, it's gonna pretty much be great. Again, He's a very, very inexpensive option at $4,000, so you can't go wrong with him. I want to go with with a least expensive wide receiver, so I could have some more money in my tight end spot. We'll get that to it in a minute. Devontae Parker was able to come back. Led the receivers last week in yards as well as receptions and targets. So I like Devontae Parker to go ahead and continue to do his thing. Always a deep threat down there in Miami and a good target for Tua. So I definitely want to stack him for this game here. And then Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going to go ahead with Emmanuel Sanders as my last wide receiver here. Going up against Jacksonville. I mean, why not, right? I mean, Jacksonville is not a threat. They're ranked 31st, so I'm going to go ahead and, if I could go ahead and get about 60 to 70 receiving yards for Emmanuel Sanders, but I'm also banking on him getting into the touchdown, getting into the end zone at least once, so to get some production there. And then I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts. We know that Calvin Ridley, again, unfortunately, Calvin Ridley is going to take some time off from football. Unfortunately, hope everything is well on his end, but somebody's going to have to pick up that load and pick up that production. So I thought it was going to be Russell Gage. Russell Gage, though, was not able to do anything whatsoever. If I looked at the box score a couple of times, and I thought that I was looking at the wrong game because he didn't come up at all, but didn't get anything whatsoever. So I like Kyle Pitts here. And then in my flex spot, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill going up against Green Bay again, because Aaron Rodgers is not there. I think that Kansas City's defense is going to be able to do a couple of things to get that turn the ball over and then get Mahomes more opportunities on the offensive side. So I like Tyreek Hill to do his thing. And then I'm going to just wrap up again. I got 3 plays here for Miami, and I like the Dolphins to go ahead and pretty much get some points down there against Houston. Houston is ranked 30th offensively, and I think that they're going to be able to go ahead and do some things and get right after that game, against Buffalo. They didn't win, but they kept it close. So I think that they rebound nicely, not only on the offensive side with Tua, Parker, but then also on the defensive side with the defense. What are your thoughts on my lineup?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, you referenced Pitts, and between him and Gage last week, it was just kind of a big disappointment. Like you just thought that would be the week. But I think they'll go back to him this week and they'll need him. Sanders scares me. I had him in a couple lineups last week, and he did what Gage did. I think there were a couple guys that had nothing. But I think Buffalo has a much better week this week than they did. Miami, I mean, what did they hold them to? 10 or 13 points in their first half last week.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, they blew up, but it looked good. I like Aaron Jones a lot, even without Rodgers. I don't know if Devontae is playing this week. Is Adams playing? He's still on the COVID list, right? They haven't cleared him quite yet.
Yeah, I believe so, but I think he's going to come back. But still, I mean, I just think that Aaron Jones, again, I mean, you have best of both worlds, right? So not only rushing, but then also coming out the backfield and catching, getting some of those catches. I'm hoping that AJ Dillon doesn't get that much involved, because obviously that's going to take away points from Aaron Jones. So that's the only thing that I'm worried about. I'm not even worried about the if Adams does come back, because again, like I said, you have the best of both worlds. Him coming out the backfield rushing, and then also being able to catch some passes, when you start blitzing them, which I think that they're going to go ahead and do. I think that they're going to go ahead and try to blitz him a lot. His first game starting, so it's not going to be in a major game. So I don't think that they're going to take it easy on him. I think that they're going to give him a lot of different looks out there on the other side, and so I think that Aaron Jones is going to probably be the first option for him coming out on some of those plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had close to 8 catches last week. Even he had a really good week, and he was expected when Adams was out that they were going to utilize him a little more on the receiving end, which I think is going to be the same thing this week. Even if Adams plays, I think if anything that'll just help him. And I like Scott. I think Jordan Howard also got 2 rushing touchdowns in that game, and I think Scott, yardage wise, it's just hard with Philly, but I like that play. It's cheap, and you were able to squeeze Tyreek Hill in there, so that's a big deal. You can get a top player in your flex spot, there. And two is a guy I'd play if I couldn't play, or if I didn't want to play Lamar, if I wanted to set a cheaper lineup or something at quarterback, Tua would be the guy I would pick this week. So I like that a lot, and I don't think that injury is anything to be too worried about. But I like it overall. So we'll get that in there. Hopefully we'll come home with some money.
Let's go, man. Let's do it.
We're gonna jump over to OwnersBox. Once again, it's kind of a newer DFS site, weekly fantasy sports site. You get some credits for your first entry or your first deposit. If you go to idpguys.org, we have some ads on there and some articles about OwnersBox. Click on those and use those to get on there. Usually there's a free entrance. But yeah, we'll get going on this one. Let's see. Last week, again, let's repeat, we had a good lineup last week. You did a good job with that one. We had, in the flex spot, we had Tannehill, who had a really good week. Tua got that rushing touchdown. That helped out a lot. I flopped Judy for Cooks, and he had a good week. But yeah, overall, we did Pittman. You had Pittman. That was a money play. The guy had 2 touchdowns within the first 5-6 minutes of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
That was real nice. QB on this one. Should we just start with Tua and go from there too, or do you want to switch it up?
Yeah. So it's interesting. I do got Tua in this
you got that. Good
lineup, but I put him at the super flex spot.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who did you have at the quarterback spot?
Derek Carr.
Okay. Let's just keep rolling with whatever you got set. That's good. 6,200. That's a good play against Giants. I mean, that probably hurts to watch that, but
yeah. For you. But listen, we're trying to win some money, right?
Yeah, it's about money right now.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
They can still win the game, and Carr can
still win the game. You can have good stats. Sometimes like fantasy has nothing to do with a real life football. So I'm just trying to get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, fantasy football has helped me not care as much if the Vikings lose.
Yeah,
which is common. So right in the last couple of years, but it just eases the blow if you win a little money. So yeah, running back. What do you got for we are on our first running back spot?
I'm going back to Boston Scott, man. I'm going back to Boston Scott. 5,400 on this platform, but again, I just think that they're going to be able to utilize him. Miles Sanders is not back, so he was able to be productive out the backfield out there. My only concern again is just with Jalen Hurts being a mobile quarterback that he takes some of the touches away from Boston Scott. But again, I think when they're in the red zone, he's the guy. He's the guy there. So I'm not going to shy away from that. I'm going to go ahead with Boston Scott again.
All right, I like that a lot. What about our second running back spot?
I'm gonna copy you, man, on one of your running backs, man. I like Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell in this spot, man. He's at 6,100, a good value here. And again, I just think that he's pretty much separated himself from the other running backs in that running back room. And I could definitely see him having another 100+ rushing yards and adding at least 1 touchdown.
Okay, I like that. Yep, I like that a lot. I like him a lot this week, as long as he's out there. What we got here? First wide receiver spot. Remember, you only have to do 2 on OwnersBox if you want.
Yep. So I'm stacking again in this spot, and I like Bryan Edwards. Again, unfortunately, Henry Ruggs is out of there. They're gonna have to have somebody pick up the slack. Bryan Edwards, I was high on him coming into the season. And, after like week 1, it was just like, where did you go? So I think that this week, you pretty much, again, they're going to be down one wide receiver as well as Waller. I don't think Waller's coming back, but even if he does, it's not going to be 100%. So I like Bryan Edwards.
Yeah, I think he was upgraded to active today. Waller was. Okay. But you're right, though. I mean, somebody else still has to get the ball. So
absolutely.
Yep. Wide receiver 2.
Wide receiver 2. We're going Parker. We're going Parker again. We're going Parker again. He's at a good price at 5,300. We saw what he was able to do last week. 87 receiving yards. Got a lot of targets.
11, I think. Yeah.
A lot of targets, but also caught a lot of them. So I like that to be more of the same. And it's his second week back. So I expect him to do pretty much exceed his performance from last week.
Sure. Tight end.
Got to go with my guy, man. Got to go with my guy for the Bengals again, man. Uzoma. I got to go with Uzoma out there.
To the well.
I think, got to go back to the well, man. He wasn't utilized as much last week. So I'm expecting for him to have another breakout game. Hopefully get into the end zone a couple of times, man, and go ahead and do that. But at 4,400, I couldn't overlook him. He was just at a great value there.
Yeah, I like that. The only one I might consider even have on here, well, maybe are the Steelers on bye this week? Yeah, they
Yes.
are, aren't they? Yeah,
Yep.
other than Pat Freiermuth, I like him a lot moving forward. Flex spot number 1.
Flex spot Cordero Patterson.
Ooh.
Patterson again. They're going to be hurting. They're hurting out there in Atlanta. One less receiver that's going to be on that offensive side. But Cordero Patterson has been pretty consistent all year round. He's found his stride there. It seems again, I've been baffled by this that no other team has been able to pretty much utilize Cordero Patterson when they had him on and his strengths, which is beyond me. I can't figure it out. But either way, that guy's productive, man. So whether he's coming out the backfield or they use him as a receiver, last week he was able to get into the end zone. So I'm looking for him to get more of that, especially with Ridley not playing this weekend.
Yep, I like that. Second flex, we have 11,300 left.
Okay, Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
Jerry
Jeudy. Give him a shot again.
Jerry Jeudy, man, 5,200. Again, was his first week back. He let me down, but Dallas's defense, I'm not sold on Dallas's defense.
Okay.
I think that they are going to be able, hopefully, Teddy Bridgewater is going to be able to get Jeudy the ball. And if he is able to find the end zone, that's also going to be big. Again, not a bad spot at 5,200. So I like Jeudy a lot this week, but I got to go back with him. I'm not going to quit with him. Last week was his first game off of coming back from IR. So I like Jeudy in this spot and got to use him in my flex spot.
Yeah. And then that super flex, you said Tua, right?
That's it. So we're stacking. We're stacking both ways, man. We're stacking with Tua and Parker, and then we're gonna go with Carr and then also Edwards there. So I like the double stack here, and then like I said, man, if we get another cash this week, then we're onto something. I think we're definitely onto something.
Yeah, I like it. This on the super flex lineups are always unique. You have to go cheap and find value somewhere. And it's also nice because there's only, I don't know, like 5,000 people in the contest. Not even 2,750 is max, which I don't know if they're even hitting those yet. I think I've seen less. So you have a shot, like you have a pretty good chance. I mean, the prizes aren't as big. Entrance fees $10, not too bad. But yeah, you have a shot. I like that Bryan Edwards. That could be sneaky. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about him this week. But somebody, well, I mean, they might now, but somebody has to get the ball there other than Waller. So I like that a lot. And if Parker's out there, the Dolphins quarterbacks, I mean, Tua likes him a lot too, it seems, but him and Waddle both, which, like you had in the original lineup, you had both Parker and Waddle in there. And I kind of like that in a way, I mean, they're going to get the ball this week, but it's probably better just keep one in.
Yeah. But I may just throw in another lineup, man. I may throw in another lineup, not too expensive, like a $10 contest in there, man, and just see what happens. Because you got to be contrarian. If you want to win some of these tournaments, you got to be different, right? Because some of these people they know what they're doing, and sometimes if you're picking the same players, it's going to be that that 0.01 or 0.2 points that separates you, man. So you definitely want to go ahead and be different. And see what works. So, but I definitely like the lineups that we put in, man. I definitely, I'm gonna tell you on your FanDuel pick, on your FanDuel lineup, man, and see if we get cash.
All right, yeah, I'll let you know if I switch anything on there. I'll be watching the Mitchell and the Parker. I don't have Parker in that lineup, but in the article I wrote this week, my DFS article, I have Parker, Tua, and the mentions just as some value plays. So nice. Just things I'm watching. I might, if coming down to game time, I might put Parker in there instead of Cooks if I can. But we'll see. I'm big on Bateman this week. I really like Rashad Bateman this week.
Yes. I'm on board. I'm on board with that. I'm definitely on board with that.
Just as far as just the finances, and the price that he has. Also, then the Vikings. I mean, Cooper and Lamb both had really good games against them on Sunday night with Patrick Peterson out. And now Danielle Hunter's out for the Vikings. And so that defense is probably going to struggle getting to the quarterback. And Lamar's just going to torch him, I think. But yeah, so let's finish her up here tonight again. We'll run over to Underdog, do some quick picks. Let me know what you think. Over under, just for Thursday's game.
All right.
You ready?
Let me pull this up so I have it as well over here. Okay, so we got.
Can't believe that what the Jets did last week to the.
Yeah, that
was weird.
That's gonna be okay. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
All right. Mike the Man White, 257.5 passing yards.
I'm gonna go over.
Okay. And then also Mike White, 22.5 completions.
Under.
Okay. Michael Carter, 49.5 rushing yards.
I'm smashing that over.
Are you? You big on him now?
Yeah. After what he did, I think that with Mike White starting, it's gonna be different, man. I think that they're gonna if Michael Carter could go ahead and repeat what he did last week with Mike White in there as quarterback, they may have to rethink some things because it seems like Zach Wilson. It doesn't matter to me what draft pick he was, but you got to be able to utilize that guy because I watched him in college. I watched him when he was at UNC, and he was able to do so. They either have to switch up how they utilize him, or you got to take a look at at Zach at what he's doing. So I definitely like actually the over on both the rushing and the receiving props for Michael Carter. Yep.
The receiving was 38.5. I like that one a lot. He had a lot of game. He definitely was in the receiving game last week a lot. I think you still only finished with 50 or 60 rushing yards last week, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Indy's decent at stopping the run, but they're gonna utilize him now. I think moving forward quite a bit. Yep. So then we got Ty Johnson at total yards 39.5.
Rushing and receiving. I'm gonna go over. Go over.
Sure. Wentz 244.5 passing yards.
I like the over in that one.
Okay.
I like the. I mean, hopefully he doesn't turn the ball over, but yeah, I like the over in that one.
That game, that pick he threw, that was bad.
Yeah.
Wentz 8.5 rushing yards.
This surprised me a lot because once he's not as mobile as he was before his injury, like his early on in his career, but he's still able to get out there sometimes and pick some yards up. So the fact that it's under 10 yards is it was kind of surprising to me. So at it being at 8.5, I'm going to jump all over this. I like the over in that.
Okay. And then Taylor, total yards, 114.5.
Love it. Over.
Okay. Yeah, I do too. I would take that right away. I think he's going to be the guy if you're setting a Thursday lineup. You put him in as the captain. Hines, 11.5 receiving yards.
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under on this one.
I don't think you'll see the field too much. Maybe.
Right.
Pittman, our guy Pittman, 7.
That's my guy, man.
70
That's
and a half.
My guy. Listen, I don't think T.Y. Hilton's going to come back this week either. So, but even if he does, it doesn't matter. I mean, Michael Pittman is a beast out there, and he's able to do some things and be productive. So at 70.5 receiving yards, I like him.
Okay. I like that too. Yep. Pascal, it's 39.5. I'm
going to go under. I'm going to go under on that one.
Yep. I guess I haven't been paying attention to what he's done the last couple games, but I don't feel like I haven't heard his name.
Yeah.
But Mo Alley Cox, 23.5.
I'm going to go over on this one. I'm going to go over on this one. Yeah.
I wish they'd give Granson a little bit of a run.
A little love, right?
Yeah. Just like the couple other rookie tight ends are starting to show up a little bit. I liked what Houston did with Brevin Jordan last week. And they let him, go in there and get a touchdown, 4 catches, 40 yards, or whatever it was. These rookie tight ends that came out this year were really talented. And I think, those teams, once those guys get comfortable, it's going to be it was a pretty good tight end class. But yeah, that's all we got. Go ahead and, try OwnersBox, go to our site, idpguys.org, read some of the things that we write on there. Where else can we find your stuff? Let's remind everybody.
I can be found on Twitter, at @biasedopinions_, do a couple of different things there, just creating content all around. So definitely come check me out, follow me on Twitter. And then, as always, we do this show every single week, trying to give you guys some value, trying to look at different things that we're doing and different players that we're looking at and as to why we're putting it in our lineups. And if you guys, as always, if you're tailing, good luck. Let's make that money.
That's right. Yep. I mean, you can find me obviously at Twitter at Clinton Holmgren. I write a DFS Minute article on idpguys.org paired it with a short on YouTube that you can see. Would love for you to check it out. Go ahead and check out OwnersBox. We've kind of had some fun using that. Yeah, you'll see us here every week. We're going to try to start going live next week. I think we're going to shoot for 7:30. So hide your kids, hide your spouses, dress in your Sunday best, and give us a view. We'd love to have you watch and let us know if you use any of our lineups or our guys, or if you did and they sucked. That's fine too. Let us know what you did. But if you win some money, give us some credit. Right?
Yeah, hit us up in the comments. In the comments.
Comments, subscribe, like, go to IDPguys.org. Try out a defensive league if you want. Subscribe to that. Check it out. We have some great writers on our site.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next week.